From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Happy Friday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Before we get to the forecast, we want to remind you that I am going to be, for the first time, a guest barista. I won't be making your coffee, but I'll be hanging out in the parking lot at the Dutch Bros on South Market Street between 2 and 4 p.m. next Thursday, September 25th. Now, here's the other thing. I'm going to be there and a special guest, a new team member here at Weather NorCal. We're very excited. You can meet them for the first time at this event. Now, if you can't make it, you can still make donations. You can scan right there to make that donation and make sure that you put the team in there as well so we get credit for that donation. $1 from each cup of coffee goes to Turtle Bay. They've got a lot of great programs out there that require a lot of money, and so events like this can truly help. So again, Caffeinate for a Cause next Thursday, September 25th. I will be there at the Dutch Bros on South Market Street between 2 and 4 p.m. Look forward to seeing you there. All right, let's take a look at our weather headlines before we get into Krueger's Quickcast. Just kind of a little idea what to expect in the deeper dive. We got a bigger drop in our temperatures today. You're going to notice that, especially for the valley. Chances for showers, thunderstorms today and even tomorrow. A warm start to the first day of fall, even the day after fall especially, but temperatures start to drop again after that. Now the rain chances I've been talking about for next Tuesday, Wednesday, boy, it looks like the forecast models are backing down on that potential. More on all of that a little bit later, but first, here's your Krueger's Quickcast for your Friday, September 19th. Out the door this morning, there's going to be some clouds. There's going to be some shower activity out there and even some thunderstorms. In fact, we're seeing some lightning strikes this morning out towards kind of west of the valley here in parts of Trinity County, Western Glenn County, and even along the coast, we're seeing some of that as well. There's a look at some of the lightning strikes we've seen over the last 12 hours this morning, last night, and of course into the early morning hours. So you can see mainly out towards places west of the valley, especially even along the coast, seeing some of that as well. Now for this morning, we do have those showers coming on in. As you can see right there, you can see it's not very heavy for the valley. We could see some of those showers and possible thunderstorms. Now, I think thunderstorms become a little bit more widespread by the afternoon into the evening, and it's mainly going to be in the mountains, but, the valley could see a stray thunderstorm as well. That's not out of the question. Now, by tonight, things are starting to quiet down again, but we could see another round of showers and thunderstorms on Saturday. But that being said, on Saturday, probably not as much activity. So there's your forecast at a quick glance for today. Temperatures much cooler. Low 80s in the valley. Showers and mainly thunderstorms in the higher elevations. And again, as I mentioned, maybe a stray shower, maybe a stray thunderstorm for parts of the valley and even the coast as well, as we're seeing that this morning along parts of the coast. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast for the valley, dry by the weekend and warmer too. First day of fall is on Monday, second day of fall is on Tuesday. It's going to feel more like summer, but temperatures do drop a bit for Wednesday, Thursday, and you'll notice I've taken the rain out of the forecast for next Tuesday and Wednesday. For the coast, inland, you've got showers and possible thunderstorms today, most likely dry by tomorrow and through the rest of the weekend and next week. For Trinity County, today, thunderstorms. Tomorrow, a chance, but the chances will be slimmer. Chances will be slimmer really across the board, even for all of the mountains, but the chances are there. Then by Sunday, we're looking at mainly dry conditions. And as I mentioned, mainly dry for Tuesday, Wednesday, although I'm keeping that chance at least for Lassen and Plumas counties for next Wednesday, but we'll see. The forecast models are really backing off on that potential for showers next Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, that's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast. Before we get to the deeper dive, let's take a look at our fire weather conditions out there, sponsored by Garmin's Tractor Service. Now we're going to start off with the latest on the fires, and there's really three main fires that we're keeping an eye on now. Pretty much all the other fires we're not really concerned about at this point. So the Dillon fire, as of yesterday morning, you can see is just under 12,000 acres, now at 84% containment. All right, now we're going to take you out to the Blue fire. And you remember a couple of days ago I was talking about some activity in the north end of the fire. We did see some growth as a result, 3,710 acres, but now from just a little over 30% to 54% containment. So we're seeing better containment there. And looking at the log fire here, you can see not much change here, but we did get a report as of yesterday morning, 1,170 acres at about 71% containment. Now that's it when we're talking about the fires. Let's talk about our fire weather risk and the winds. Yeah, they're picking up, but most of the winds that we're seeing here are thunderstorm induced. That is, the thunderstorms develop and then they produce gusty winds as a result. Quiet Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, especially in the mountains where we see the better chances for thunderstorms, have the potential for some gusty winds there. And then Sunday, at least through noon, we're not expecting very strong winds, at least for the first half of the day, but higher humidity. See these numbers? That's humidity levels. Now, this is getting pretty high for us, for our standards. This is not Florida humidity. This is not, the Caribbean humidity, but it is humidity nonetheless. You're going to notice it's going to feel more muggy out there. 30, 40, even 50% for some of us in the valley. And then as we go into your Saturday, humidity levels you'll see are dropping. And that's because we're starting to see the moisture from tropical, or what once was Tropical Storm Mario, moving out. But our fire weather risk is still going to be mainly within that low category. Hey, by the way, I asked you to send some photos, and Krista, she delivered. Thank you so much, Krista, for sharing this photo of your sunrise. We were noticing that with the clouds, the sun coming up, making for a beautiful sunrise. So I want to thank Krista for sharing that photo. This was out in Redding, and you can share your photos and see them right here on Weather NorCal. Just share them from the free Weather NorCal app, and you will be good to go from both your iPhone and your Android. All right, so let's go into the deeper dive. Let's really get into this here. So what we've got here, all of this right here, this is all moisture, remnants from what once was Tropical Storm Mario. It was down to the south, and that moisture has worked its way northward. This is something I've been talking about pretty much all week long. It's finally here. We noticed it last night. Yesterday evening, boy, it was pretty active in some areas, especially west of the valley. Trinity County, out towards Humboldt County, Del Norte, even into western portions of Siskiyou County into Scott Valley. Some pretty strong thunderstorms there, a lot of lightning. It quieted down a bit, but we're this morning still seeing some activity out there, even a few lightning strikes. Let's take a look at where those are this morning. And you can see mainly they have been just west of the valley here, western Tehama, off into southern Trinity County. And you can see it worked its way into Humboldt and into parts of Del Norte County as well. So those rumbles of thunder you're hearing, that's not your imagination. It's been happening, especially west of the valley this morning. But looking at the overall severe outlook coming in from the Storm Prediction Center, pretty good representation. I think we're going to see a chance for showers and even some thunderstorms really across the board for Northern California. I think it might be overdoing it a little bit here. This is going off of the theory that should any thunderstorms develop west of the valley, that the north end of the valley may see a stray shower or thunderstorm. And that's not entirely out of the question, but it depends on how strong these thunderstorms get. And based on the latest look at Futurecast, you're going to see that Saturday is not looking all that promising for much activity. And really, even for today, it's not just going to be a widespread swath of moisture and rain all day long. You're looking at off and on showers for the valley, and really even for many of the higher elevations, with some of those thunderstorms popping up by the afternoon. Now, it looks like the strongest thunderstorm activity looks to be to the north, Modoc, Siskiyou County, but even parts of Trinity County could see some of that activity as well in northern Shasta County. By around midnight tonight, we're starting to quiet things down, a few stray showers here and there, even into the early morning hours, but mainly cloudy, mainly dry for your Saturday morning. By the time we get into midday, afternoon, we're seeing more thunderstorms popping up. But notice it's few and far between. Scattered showers, possible thunderstorms, mainly in the mountains here. And you can see maybe even parts of Trinity County could see that activity. But look at this, by 6 p.m. Saturday, it's mostly done with. And then by Saturday night into Sunday, you're looking at dry conditions. However, by Sunday afternoon, look at this, a little bit of leftover moisture. We could possibly see a stray shower, off chance for thunderstorms Sunday afternoon for parts of the eastern mountains. something to think about. But overall, we're really starting to see a drier trend going into the second half of the weekend and even into next week. Let's take a look at the longer range. And remember, I've been talking about an area of low pressure coming in from the south for next Tuesday and Wednesday, giving us a potential for showers. There's that area of low pressure. This model in particular, the last couple of days, has been really kind of pushing it and keeping it out of our area, and mainly pushing it over Nevada eastward into the desert southwest. The European forecast model, up until about this morning, has been really giving us the chance for some rain. But now even the European forecast model is kind of backing down on that potential. So for now, for the most part, I'm keeping it dry, with the exception of maybe around Lass and Plumas counties on Wednesday. But that is not even looking all that promising. Hey, take a look at that 10-day trend. Yes, much cooler for your Friday. There's that spike in the temperatures, and now it looks like the peak is going to be Tuesday of next week. So the day after the first day of fall. First day of fall is Monday, and that's the autumnal equinox. It gets even warmer, close to 100 degrees on Tuesday, and then it dips. Now, you'll notice the temperatures too not dropping as much as we initially thought. That storm system that was supposed to bring us rain Tuesday, Wednesday was supposed to give us a nice dip in our temperatures, but now that it's not moving through, temperatures are dropping, but really just kind of closer to normal for this time of the year. Then into that next weekend, maybe dropping back down to the 80s. But taking a look at your lake levels, no big surprises here. Your typical drops that we've been seeing here over the last several weeks, if not even months, still over 100% of that historical average, which is really all you can really ask for at this point in this time of the year, as those lake levels do start to drop. Taking a look at the wave heights for today, they're going to be significantly lower today and tomorrow, so that hazardous seas warning will pretty much be allowed to expire this morning, and conditions should improve if you need to be on a small boat. South winds at 5 knots, waves from the northwest at 7 feet at about 9 seconds. So here is your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. Starting off with Trinity County, you've got those temperatures in the 80s, 77 degrees for Mad River. Now, you've got the lightning strikes on Saturday. Keep in mind the chances will be much slimmer on Saturday than they will be today. And then you can see on Sunday it's dry, and I'm keeping it dry through next week. Your Dignity Health North Coast neighborhood forecast, there are the showers, possible thunderstorms today. Dry, though, for the weekend, and dry through next week, with highs on the coast, mid to upper 60s. Take you up north, 89 degrees for Orleans, 92 for Hoopa. Showers, possible thunderstorms for today, but dry on Saturday, dry through next week, and getting warmer for Monday, Tuesday. Your Dignity Health Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures mainly in the 80s, a little bit warmer out in Happy Camp at about 91, 79 for Tennant and McLeod. Showers and thunderstorms for today, could see that slight chance on Saturday as well. And then going into Sunday, you're dry, and I'm going to keep you dry through next week as well. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures basically around 80, give or take. Showers and thunderstorms today, possibly into Saturday, and then Sunday it dries out and dry through next week as well. Taking a look at the eastern mountains, all right, this is where things get a little bit more interesting, because, yes, I've got it for today and tomorrow, but there it is Wednesday. And when I say Wednesday, I'd say the farther north you go into the eastern mountains, the slimmer the chance. So I'd say like Susanville southward, maybe a chance for a shower on Wednesday, but at this point, that's not very much guaranteed. Taking a look at your Dignity Health Valley neighborhood forecast to the south, temperatures struggling to get out of the 70s, yes. How nice is that, right? 80 degrees for Corning, 80 degrees in Chica. But one of the things that we're going to be adding to our forecast is the humidity. Yes, it's going to feel a lot more humid out there, so it'll probably feel a bit warmer than 80 degrees, but cooler nonetheless. Showers, possible thunderstorms, even for the valley today. And then the temperature is getting warmer. First day of fall, 95. Second day of fall, 96, but back down to the upper 80s by Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Take you up to the north, 83 for Redding, 83 for Bella Vista and Palo Cedro, 81 for Red Bluff. Showers and thunderstorms here for today. Looking at your 7-day forecast for Redding, those temperatures are going to be in the low 90s by Sunday. Yeah, there it is for the first day of fall, 97, close to 100 on Tuesday. Back down to the low 90s by Wednesday and Thursday. That's your morning update. I'll have more at midday, that is. Until then, have a great morning.